It's Sunday, March 15th, 2020. A little bit of wind out here today. I apologize. Hopefully it's not distorting the audio too badly. We got some real serious problems on hand, and I want to talk about this right now. You know, for a very long time, people accused me of spreading doom and gloom, being negative, when I've done nothing more than just try to wake people up and just talk about reality, preparation, being prepared for what now is knocking at the door. The real doom and gloom has already begun. I don't need to make any doom and gloom up. I don't need to create paranoia. I want to create preparation. I want people to be prepared so that they don't become paranoid, so they don't panic. And we are now seeing the real doom and gloom happen right before our very eyes. The Fed just cut rates a couple hours ago to zero. This means now that in less than 2 weeks, they have now cut 150 basis points. Remember, it was just a couple weeks ago when Jerome Powell told all of us that the economy is strong, the consumer is strong, and now we are at 0% interest rates with a full 1 point cut today. Also, QE5 is now official. The Fed injecting $700 billion into these markets. $500 billion in treasury purchases, $200 billion in mortgage-backed securities. The real doom and gloom has just happened. I don't need to make this up. I don't need to make up doom and gloom to get views or to get people excited. The Federal Reserve is creating the doom and gloom. So we're at 0% interest rates now. QE5 is official with another $700 billion. So let's recap here. Made a few notes today. The Fed injected $1.5 trillion this last week. Now it's official, QE5 with an additional $700 billion injected into these markets. We're at 0% interest rates. This infection now is continuing. The task force came back out today on a Sunday, another emergency task force press conference, another emergency declaration. So this may be a little bit more serious than most people anticipated. Now the big question is this. What if this rate cut and this quantitative easing and all this money printing doesn't work? I just looked at the Dow futures. It is limit down. It was down over 5%. It is frozen. 1,041 points, I believe. A little bit over 1,000 points. Dow Jones futures frozen. Limit down. That's after trillions of dollars have been injected. That's after 0% interest rates. This could be a real mess tomorrow. I don't know what they're going to do behind the scenes to fix this, but as of right now, this could be a disaster in the making. The markets are not reacting positively to the massive injections and the rate cuts. Their worst nightmare is coming true. If they do not figure out a way to put a Band-Aid on this gunshot wound very quickly, we are going to see massive collapsing happening in these markets. Personally today, watching this transpire, I ordered more precious metals. Right now at this point, I don't care what the price is. I'm not giving financial advice. I'm not telling you you should do this. I'm just sharing with you on this video today, on this Sunday evening, what I'm doing and what I just did. I ordered more precious metals, SD Bullion, link down below. That's who I order from. If you're thinking about ordering, obviously, most of you already know that there are massive shortages in silver and in gold. Many places are already sold out. I don't care where you get it. If you're thinking about getting it, I would get it now. And not to say that the price won't come down tonight or tomorrow or this week or next week. To me, that doesn't even matter. Right now, it matters. Do you have it? Because it's going to be about this. Either you have it or you don't. And the people that don't are going to lose. You must have precious metals. Prices are volatile, no doubt about it. They're going to fluctuate up, down, but inventory is so thin right now. And when we continue to see more of what is happening in these markets, it is going to get harder and harder. Many places are already sold out. If this economy collapses, remember, there are no more second chances. We are going to see things of a historical magnitude. Biblical events will be unfolding. Historical and biblical events unfolding. We're watching it happen right before our very eyes right now. And as I was out today, people are just in la la land, for the most part. People just going on their normal day, not concerned about the threat of this infection, not concerned about their pensions, not concerned about their retirements. They seem not to be very concerned about much. But whether you're in these markets or not in these markets, we're all in these markets, whether we know it or not. And they are this is going to have severe ramifications for the entire world with what is coming. We are getting so close to something very, very big happening. And look, this could all rebound tonight. It could rebound tomorrow. I'm not sitting here making any prediction other than the writing is on the wall that we are heading into a brick wall here. And when we hit that wall, I don't know the day, I don't know the time, but what I do know is it's unavoidable and we are heading into a deadly collapse here. Make sure that you are preparing. You need to really be adding to your food right now. Somebody asked me the other day, they're well-rounded, well-prepared. What else can they be doing? Well, I say just continue fine-tuning. If you have a substantial amount of food and water and security and precious metals and a cash reserve, just keep adding a few cans this week to your reserves. Go out, do a little training, do a little exercising, go for a run. Fine-tune your body, fine-tune your skills at the range. Buy a little bit more brass. Just keep fine-tuning a little bit, add a little bit more while you can. Supply chains have broken. Factories are shut down. It is only a matter of time before we start seeing massive unemployment starting to tick up here in America. It is a matter of time before the real estate market starts showing some hemorrhaging. This real estate market, this bubble, is on borrowed time. And when real estate goes, they are not going to be able to cover up what is happening here. And people are going to take massive losses in the real estate market, in the stock market. Again, not here to scare anybody. I'm just here to tell you to keep doing what you're doing. And for many people, it's too late. For most of America, they're going to be wiped out. They're going to lose their pensions. They're going to lose their retirements. They're going to lose their futures. They're going to lose what wealth they had. It's going to be taken away. This is going to be the biggest wealth transfer that the world has ever seen, no doubt about it. It is shaping up right now, and yet people continue to act so lackadaisical, ignoring what is happening. I can't tell you how many people are writing me on a daily basis talking about the store shelves empty, talking about the ghost town malls, talking about businesses closing up, people losing their jobs, friends losing their jobs, their 401ks smashed. We haven't seen anything yet. This is going to get much, much worse. Remember, if there's one thing I can stress today, and if you are completely prepared, if you really feel that you're 100% prepared, look, I don't think any of us are 100% prepared for what's coming. I'm certainly not. I'm doing the best that I can, but nobody is 100% prepared for what is coming. If there's one thing you can do today, it is to thank God for everything He's blessed you with. Continue to pray to God, continue to walk close to God, and pray to God for security and safety. That is one of the biggest things you can do. So if you have all the food, all the water, the security, the assets, make sure, most of all, you're walking close to God and praying for safety and praying for this country. So there's always something we can be doing to fine-tune our skill set. They told us weeks ago not to worry about this. It's no worse than the common cold. They told us weeks ago that the economy is strong, the consumer is strong. Take a look at the actions today. Another task force meeting on a Sunday, vice president and the task force coming out. We've got the Fed coming out on a Sunday, emergency rate cut, emergency QE5. Don't listen to what they're telling you. Watch what they're doing. Make sure that you are your own central bank. You know, all these business analysts are going to continue to try and sucker people into the stock market. They're going to continue to get you to buy a house with, with these low mortgage rates. Now it's buy the dip on Wall Street. Everything's going to be fine. The fundamentals are strong. Everything they're telling you is a lie. Follow the actions. Warren Buffett, $144 billion on the sidelines. Many thousands of CEOs have stepped down and cashed out. Many of the richest people in the world have cashed out of these markets. They're sitting on land. They're sitting on gold. They're sitting on silver. They're sitting on art. They're sitting on all types of collectibles. They're sitting on hard, tangible assets, things that they can put their hands on. They're not sitting on piles of paper at this moment. Now, they want you to do that. The central bank wants you to come in and buy paper gold and paper silver. They want you to buy stocks, but this is the difference. Real physical gold and silver is not paper gold or silver. You must own the real physical gold, the real physical silver. I think right now it is so important to detach and get out of the system. Be very careful and cautious with your bank accounts, your savings, checking accounts. I personally would not be leaving too much money in them. I'd be very cautious if I was in these markets. Use caution because we are approaching danger. Look, you've seen the volatility over the last couple weeks, much more to come. Reading today, a bank in Midtown, New York, is cleaned out of $100 bills. Very interesting here. Let me go over this article. Customers at a Bank of America, a branch of Bank of America in Midtown Manhattan, the final heart of New York, were lining up to take cash out of their accounts, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars. So many people sought huge sums that the bank branch at 52nd and Park Avenue temporarily ran out of $100 bills to fulfill large withdrawals that people were pulling out. Some people were pulling out in excess of $50,000 at a time. You think the people over there in Manhattan maybe have a clue what's going on? You think maybe there's a little concern? JP Morgan across the street, a teller there said that there has been a nonstop stream of customers stockpiling cash over the past 2 days. We gotta really be careful here. Between oil and this infection, it is creating a run on the dollar, a run at the banks. And I think that the media is not going to tell you, but I think a lot of people are pulling a lot of cash out of these banks. But don't worry. We've been told that the banks are well capitalized. So go in there, get your money out. Don't worry, they're well capitalized. So I think at this point you need to play it extremely safe. The banks say they're well capitalized, then they should have no issue giving you your money back, because here's where we're at. We're at 0% interest rates. Very, very shortly, at some point this year, I see we are going negative. I know Jerome Powell says that that's not going to happen, but there's a lot of things he said that wasn't going to happen, and it just happened. So negative rates coming to America, where you will be paying the bank when you lend them your money. So I think a lot of people are wising up, getting their money out of the banks, detaching from the system. The more you are detached from this system, the safer you are. The less dependent you are on these financial institutions and this banking system, this cartel, the safer you are. People are beginning to lose faith in the system. No matter how prepared any of us are, when people lose faith in the system, when they lose faith in the US dollar, all hell breaks loose. Nobody is prepared for the social disruption that will take place when this happens. First, they will lose faith in the system. Then they will lose faith in the US dollar. And then it is game on. Daily Mail today, brawls and screaming matches break out at stores across the country as the infection panic buying intensifies and national emergency is declared. They literally are talking about shutting down New York right now. You start shutting down big cities. What are the odds that we start seeing literal meltdowns socially in Los Angeles, New York, Chicago. I mean, we will start seeing rioting, the burning of cities. Wall Street Journal, grocers fail to keep up with demand as this pandemic spreads. Stores having to close to restock. They're closing early. Some stores are closing down because of violence. Lots of stores talking about the inventory on the shelves is just running very, very lean, or they're just wiped out. Also, workers are getting sick. Ask yourself this: when we start seeing workers at the grocery store getting sick, not being able to come to work, people in the medical field, the healthcare system getting sick, not being able to come to work, police getting sick, not coming to work, what do you think is going to happen? Look, this isn't about doom and gloom. This is about reality. The doom and gloom is here. Nobody has to make it up. All you have to do is connect the dots. All you have to do is read a little bit, do your due diligence, do your homework, and you could see that where this was all going. Look, it's not about creating doom and gloom. It's about talking about the truth. America's hospitals will be overrun in just 8 days. They're talking about 500,000 people may already be infected, and 10 million people may need care. This is in Daily Mail today. Check it out. Here's another one on the AP. States turn to cash reserves as this infection strains budgets. This is another disaster waiting to happen. We have a lot of states that are bankrupt, Illinois being one of them. Most of our states are having a pension crisis. Their pensions are unfunded. What is this going to do? These states are in a very vulnerable position, just like this country is in a very vulnerable position. Are we going to be able to bail states out? Are we going to be bailing pensions out? This is going to put such a drain on the economic system here in America, yet people would rather deny what is happening right before their very eyes. And, you know, I can't feel sorry for these people when this whole thing collapses, when it implodes, when people wake up, it will be too late. Bullion Star. I believe this is a bullion company in Singapore. This is an article on Zero Hedge today. From February 14 to March 14, 2020, we have seen a record number of orders. This is what Bullion Star says. This is a bullion company, again, in Singapore. This is what they say: record order revenue and a record number of visits to their newly renovated and extended bullion center in Singapore. For the last few days, it has been the busiest in their history of all time. They are having a hard time even answering their phones. The enormous demand is straining supply chains. Most of the suppliers do not have any stock of precious metals and are not taking orders. This is from Bullion Star. And you can go to bullionstar.com, check out their site, but this was on Zero Hedge. And this is out of their Singapore office. U.S. Mint announced Thursday that silver American Eagles are sold out. Bullion Star says this also: the large wholesalers in the U.S. are completely sold out of all gold and of all silver and are not able to replenish. So, you know, I read this earlier today and I just said, you know what? I don't care where the numbers go, where the prices go, gold and silver. I'm making another order today because at least I have it. So if I pay $100 more or $100 less or $200 more or $200 less, I don't care. I have it in my hand, because if tomorrow I wake up and I can't make an order, then I've got a problem. So I would rather pay a little bit more and have it now and just have the peace of mind. So futures market is frozen. Hopefully it will reopen later this evening. I'm going to leave it right here today because, I mean, what else is there to say? We are on the verge of a massive collapse, and I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. I don't know what kind of magic they can perform tonight, being down right now over 1,000 points after QE5 is now official with $700 billion, after the $1.5 trillion last week, and now at 0% interest rates. So what's next? Everybody said that they could print money forever and that nothing bad's going to happen, right? Well, those are the people panicking tonight. Those are the people who are very, very worried tonight. Look, I have my food, I have my water, I have my cash, I have my assets, and I certainly have a lot of security. And I am certainly saying my prayers more now than ever. So I'm going to leave it there. We'll see how things transpire over the evening. It's going to be a very exciting day tomorrow. And look, it could rebound. We could be up 1,000 points tomorrow. Hell, we could be up 2,000 points tomorrow. Or we could be down 2,000 points tomorrow. The volatility is historical. We are going to watch biblical events unfold right before our very eyes. Historical economic events, social events, political events have already begun to unfold. God bless every one of you. Share this video and just continue doing what you do. Fine-tune your skills, fine-tune your preparations, keep adding to them. Continue to just physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially keep preparing. God bless you.